It's CMA Awards week. I am Heather Bird, and I'm sitting here with Mr. Thomas Rhett. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks so much for coming by and saying
Thanks
hello.
for having me. This is awesome.
Now, you're having a very big year.
I am.
Are you taking a moment to take it all in?
Not yet. I'm waiting for the holidays to kind of just take a break and look back. This year's been pretty amazing. A lot of stuff has happened for the first time for me, which is pretty cool. I was on the Night Train tour with Jason Aldean this whole year, and had my first #1 as a songwriter with a song called "Round Here" for Florida Georgia Line. Just had my first #1 as an artist, and just put out my first record ever. So it's been a year full of firsts, and very, very happy about it. So
My goodness, you're unstoppable.
no, well, it's pretty cool.
Now, I think I read that you and your dad just made history by having all these #1s at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the stat was we had at one time we had either written or co-written or performed 5 songs in the top 10. So there was a Rhett or an Akins on 5 songs in the top 10 at one point, and that was pretty crazy. I remember calling Dad and telling him that he didn't even know, I didn't even know, and we'd found out, and we celebrated, and it'd be one thing for it to happen with just one of your friends, but when you do something like that with your dad, it's a pretty special thing. So.
Is everyone just calling you for co-writes, like people that you met one time?
If I was ever home for longer than 24 hours, they might, but I'm kind of off the market at the moment. So.
Let me ask you a little bit, because you have such a winning songwriting process, what is that like?
It's different every time. I feel like I've got my core group of people that when I come home, I'm writing with these certain 10 people the majority of the time. And so, we'll sit down and hopefully somebody has a semi-cool idea, and we'll sit down and we talk literally for an hour before we write, and most of the time titles usually fall out of some of our dumb conversation that we're having. And I don't know, it's just always a fun thing. I make sure that I write with people that are fun to hang with, because if you can hang with them, you can more than likely write a song with them. And so I don't know, it just kind of happens most of the time.
Do you set time aside each day to write?
No, I wish I did. Things have been extremely hectic lately, especially since the album's been coming out, and so I feel like I'm going to bed at 2 and waking up at 7 every day. And so, once I finished the record, I kind of gave myself a little time off from writing, and so over the holidays and in January, I'm going to really get back into it really hardcore and try to write a song a day. So we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, taking time to reflect back on 2013, such an amazing year for you. What do you think that you learned this year?
Oh man, I learned a lot. I feel like I learned, I was tired a lot just from going a ton, and I get sick pretty easy. But I learned a lot from Jason about singing. I know this is kind of dumb, but I watched Jason Aldean sing 70 times this year. I went out and watched every show, and never once heard him miss a note. And I remember walking up to him and being like, "Dude, how in the world do you have a voice of steel?" And I don't know. He told me not to worry about it, and so I became less of a worrier about my voice this year. Became less of I just had more fun, honestly. If you don't have fun with it, then I don't think you're doing anything right. And so I learned a lot from Jake and Jason this year about just kind of letting loose and having a good time. So.
Well said, sir.
I don't know.
Well, we can't wait to see what comes next.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right.